Hi, everyone. My name is Kara Roopsingh, and I'm from the vibrant Caribbean nation of Trinidad and Tobago. I would like to start off today by inviting you all to say thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm sure you're wondering why I asked you to say thank you to me today, and I'll get to that in a bit. See, I work for the National Trust of Trinidad and Tobago, and that's the national agency responsible for conserving and preserving and educating the world on our built and our natural heritage. And I like to think of myself as a memory keeper because I am keeping the memory of our nation's past alive. And in the famous words of my Caribbean brother Bob Marley, if you don't know your past, you don't know your future. And I would like to share with you today 3 lessons that I have learned from my work that I think are of great value to the world and some of the shared challenges we face today. 1. I have learned that rarely do we ever know the whole story. In fact, there's often more to learn, and there's often more than meets the eye. Conflict and misunderstanding often comes from what we don't know about the other. And we should try to learn and understand the other, and in this case, those that came before us. 2. I have learned that in understanding comes pride. If we can understand something, we can value it. And if we can value it, we can conserve and preserve it, and we can learn from it. And in understanding our history has made me a proud Trinbagonian today. 3, the third and final lesson I would like to leave with you is that the past is constantly trying to educate and inform the present so that we can live and achieve a better quality of life for our future. So I'd like to share with you a story about a historic building in Trinidad, a 2-story wooden building with white cast iron railings and light blue walls. And I'm sure as I tell you this story, you'll see many lessons from the past. The building was built in 1904 by Mrs. Prada as a gift to her husband. Did that line sink in? Let me say that in a different way so you can understand. Mrs. Prada, a woman, in 1904 colonial Trinidad, had a home built for her husband at a time when women could not own property, nor did they have the right to vote. Mrs. Prada named the building Mille Fleurs, which is French for 1,000 flowers, as she loved flowers and kept a beautiful floral garden in the property. Fast forward many years, the then independent government did purchase the building, and unfortunately in the year 2000, Mille Fleurs was abandoned. Now, if you know anything about historic materials, natural materials like wood and lime mortar, in a tropical environment, you can understand that this building was just ravaged by time and by climate. One restoration expert famously said, "The only thing holding up this building is termites holding hands and our prayers." The National Trust warned the government that if the present conditions of this building continues, it would have no future. Now, Trinidad and Tobago had to face the harsh reality that we had lost the craftsmanship and the skill that went into building this structure. So we had to look to our Caribbean people in Cuba and Dominican Republic and those areas that were able to retain the artisanship necessary to restore it. So with those regional partnerships in hand, Mille Fleurs was able to be restored, and near 2020, it was handed over to the National Trust as our headquarters. We immediately knew this building was special and wanted it to be open access for all citizens, visitors, families alike. And that's exactly what we did. So you see, the building that so few cared about had now become a focal point of community activities, social engagements, and gatherings. And once we restored it, and once we valued it and started to share the story with the nation, the community came back. Mille Fleurs has successfully adapted to its new use from a private home to a community space. So you see, it never lost its purpose. We lost the understanding of it. And once that came back, the community came back too. And yes, I know our colonial past is a painful one, but we need this. We need to understand this, and we need to let this pain help fuel us for a better future. So I'd like to invite you one more time to say thank you again. But this time, to our ancestors, to our lessons learned, to those events and experiences in history that have helped shape us to who we are today. I think to that we can all say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.